I finished NYC. What is the next thing that you think Nigerian aunties and Nigerian parents will start talking to you about? Marriage. I'm honestly so tired of marriage. My guys have no clue. Welcome back to my channel. Hi, my name is Louie and this is Time Louie. Welcome to my space. Since my NYC a couple of months ago, and when I tell you the topic of marriage has been coming up more than ever, I promise you. But it's not even the topic of marriage that scares me. What scares me is having a ring on my finger. Yes, having a ring on my finger scares me because I actually have this phobia for rings. I don't know. I searched for phobia for rings, but I didn't see anything. What I saw is fear of jewelry, and I don't have fear of jewelry, obviously, because I had a bad experience with having basically a ring stuck on my finger. So picture this: little me, primary one. I was 5 years old. A Sunday afternoon, going to visit a family. My parents in front, me and my brother at the back, and I see this steel ring in my dad's car. Basically, he was working with it, and as a small child, you'll be seeing older people wear rings. So it's like, I want to wear one now. I was playing with it, and it got stuck on my finger. It didn't get stuck here. I think it got stuck a bit past here. A small steel, very small, very tiny steel got stuck on my finger. And I didn't see it as a big deal. I wasn't in pain, so for me, I didn't really care. Now, Monday morning, my mom is bathing me to go to school to get ready for school, and she sees me fiddling with my hand, and she's wondering, why are you fiddling with your hand? And I'm like, it's paining me. She now looks at it and sees that I put a small ring on my finger. The mom is like, from where? Why did this get to your hand? Then my brother now says what happened. So he saw me playing with it yesterday in the afternoon, and it was stuck on my hand. Mom was like, why didn't you say anything? The scary part in this was the fact that there was no blood rushing from here up to here. So this whole part of my finger was swollen. It was swollen, there was no blood. It was very crazy, very weird. My mom gets Vaseline. She tries to drag it out, and screaming at home. My top of my voice, and in pain, and craziest pain. They couldn't get it out. First thing my parents did, they took my brother to school. Then we entered our round of hospital. We first went to a health center. The health center that is near us said, this is like beyond them. This is way, way beyond them. So we go to another health center, more bigger health center. Bigger health center say, this requires surgery. Yes, surgery. And they said this is also beyond them. So we had to go to a more bigger hospital here in Port Harcourt. Took me to BMH. On getting to BMH, my mom said, bought the card, paid for emergency, paid for normal regular doctor visit. Got a doctor, met a doctor. The doctor said that, and let me just state, this wasn't just any regular iron that you say, okay, you could have just bent it. No, this was steel iron. So it's way, way more beyond just trying to bend it and to come off. I met the doctor said that they have to put me asleep. Yes, I have to put me asleep in order to drag it out of my hand so that the pain will not be much for me. Waiting in the doctor's office, they went to get prepare the injections to put me asleep. Mind you, I'm in primary one and I have crazy fear of injections. So I'm already fidgeting and crying. Next thing, as I'm waiting in the doctor's office, a matron, a nurse, comes in. A big woman, an older woman. I clearly remember she was dark and she had body, she was fat. And I remember she was like looking at the hand, she was like, this is small thing, it's not that big. So we now asked what the doctor said, the woman said, what is it? Is it a healthy child? Like, I'm young, like putting me under like anesthesia would be too heavy, it's too serious, that rather she goes to pull it out. she's going to pull it out. Said, okay, get me oil, get me Vaseline, get me all the lubricants you want to go. And I was basically like this. This was how I was that day. On one hand, they're trying to fix a line in order to get me to sleep. On the other hand, my mom is holding me, my dad is holding my legs, and my hand is being dragged. Oh God, that day, I still clearly remember it. That's funny thing. I can vividly remember it. I was on the table, consulting bed. I was like this. We were dragging and dragging and dragging it out, and thank God it got out. I had a small bruise, but basically it's healed. It's over how many years, so there's not really any mark or so. That's how I was able to get that steel off my finger. And ever since then, I have had this fear of having a ring in my hand. I've worn rings, but even if I want to wear a ring, I would just put it here. I would never allow it to pass here. If it passes here and it gets tight and I'm trying to move it, I start getting very scared just because of that past events that happened in my life. So because of that, I don't even wear rings at all. The one time that I wore a ring recently and it was tight around my hand, I remember the way I was almost crying because I didn't just want to go through what I went through in primary school. Let's call it trauma. Let's call it trauma. Trauma that will live with you forever. So because of that, I don't like anything on my fingers. I don't like anything on my knuckles. Nothing at all. When this topic of marriage even comes around, what's in my head is not even about the marriage part. What's in my head is I don't know how to do that ring part, because maybe I'll put it as a necklace, because guys, that ring part is, my fear of rings is like on 100. Having a ring on doesn't really signify whether you're married or not, so it doesn't really. I hope you guys enjoyed this little story time of mine. Please follow me on my social media. They'll be up here. That's Oli.xx on Twitter and Oli.xx on Instagram. If you love this story time, please make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and share this video. Share it to everybody that you know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.